Word of God for today is from Psalms 61, verse 1. Psalms chapter 62, verse 1. Let us read it together. Truly, my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him. This Bible verse is very famous in Korean. We even have a song with this Bible verse. 나의 영혼이 잠잠히 하나님만 바라며. This is exactly that Bible verse. 나의 영혼이 잠잠히 하나님만 바라며. It is written just like that. But when we read it in English, it says, my soul finds rest in you. 나의 영혼이 잠잠히 하나님을 바라는 것이 it is same meaning as my soul finds rest in God. My soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from Him. When we live this world, we live in the world of tribulation. There's no peace in this world. That is why many people turn to politics, they turn to different religions, they seek for many different things because they want to have that peace in their mind. They want to have rest in their soul. However, it is impossible for them to get those peace and tranquility because this world is far away from those things. We call it Psalm of David because David wrote a lot of the Psalms. And when you look at the life of David was filled with battles, and he was filled with many assassination attempts, and it was filled with many different people attacking him. To begin with, David's life was in danger because of his father-in-law, who was Saul. Saul tried to kill him many, many times, even after he became his son-in-law. Even though David was his son-in-law, Saul tried to kill him because he felt danger of his throne. That's why he said, let's get rid of David. So David had to run away from Saul for the beginning of his life. When he became the king of Israel, everything seemed pretty okay. But after being a king and after growing old, his son, Absalom, he tried to kill him. So David had to run once again. So his life from the beginning to the end, in the beginning, there was assassination attempts from King Saul. In the middle, there were many different battles against the nation of Israel. At the end, even end of his life was in danger because of his sons. So David's life was full of tribulations. But David is saying, truly my soul finds rest in God. Because when he turned his eyes to this world, he never had true peace in his heart. He was always being chased by somebody or someone, or even when he sinned against God, he felt like God has turned his back on him. So, and when you see what David did when he have sinned against God, David fasted and he fell to his knees and he repented in front of God. But when you read the book of Psalms, you kind of feel David, you feel his heart. You get the idea why David acted such way, because David had no other place to turn to. He didn't have anyone that he could really rely upon. He said his only peace came from God. His only strength came from God. His only salvation came from God. That is why God was the only one whom David really could trust. When we leave this world, we get to trust in different things. We get to trust in different organizations, different people. We get to trust many different things. But what God does to us is He makes us to realize that there's no one to truly trust and put our trust except God. If we love our friends more than we love God, He will show us that friend is not that reliable. If we trust our parents more than we trust God, He will show that our parents is not eternal. When we put our trust in money, He will show us that money cannot save us. And He will show us wherever we put our trust, He will show if it's not God, it's not everlasting or it's not worthy. Today, we come before God and we have to make this confession in front of Him, saying, Lord, truly my soul finds rest in You and You alone. My salvation comes from You and You alone. And You are in our spirit. So we must always remember that He is with us, always. And we must always remember that we can find peace, we can find rest, and we could find our true salvation in God, who is in our spirit. It almost feels like when you come to church and when you listen to these sermons for as long as I was here and pastor before me, even you always listen to the same sermon, which is you must find God in your spirit and rely on Him, and you must trust in Him. And because we say the same thing, because that is the only thing that really matters. That really matters. If you can find God in your spirit, and if you could truly touch Him, and if you could truly follow Him, then you do not have to worry about anything else in your life. That is the answer to your life. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, am I going to be raptured when He comes? You don't have to worry about that. If you care so much about God in your spirit, if you can truly always put your eyes upon Him, put your eyes on God who lives in you, then you don't even have to worry about that, because you will be raptured. There's no question about it. You will be raptured. Am I going to go to heaven? If you put your eyes to Him, you don't have to worry about that, of course, because He is in you and you in Him. We are united, so we will go to eternity together with God. One funny story that I experienced this week, that there's ant problem in our church premises. So I went to get a bunch of ant killers, and I came to church early in the morning. I did the early morning service, and after that I went around church spreading those things everywhere, so it will just eliminate the ants. And when I did that, I did it with Jinan. I did it with him. And we were inside. We came outside. I don't know if it was that event or the other event, but we were in together. And then I said, okay, let's go out. Let's lock up the church. So I locked the church up, and I looked behind, and he was gone. He was not there. Nobody was there. So I was like, is he in the church? Or is he somewhere else? So I looked like on the back, and I looked on the parking lot, and he wasn't there. And I was waiting for him in the car, and he wasn't coming out. So I was like, is it the rapture? And I felt betrayed. And I said, Lord, this is not right. Lord, this can't be happening. It's me. Come on. What's going on? So I look one more time. I look on the back one more time. Still, he's not there. So I drove my car to the trash can back on behind the church. And he was standing there waiting for me with the trash. And I said, where were you? And he said, you know what? As soon as you start locking the door, I walked all the way back and I stood there waiting for you. Where were you? You know, that kind of thing. So, but for that brief moment, I had that, oh Lord, is it your second coming? But if we are always with God in our spirit, if we can truly put our eyes upon Him all the time, then we don't really have to worry about that. We really don't have to worry about it. Because God will be there with us, and He will give us the peace and rest that we know that we cannot get from this world, and He will take care of us.